My name is David Kurea. I'm the founder and director of Kijabe Environment Volunteers KENVO, which is a community-based organization working in the South Abadias Forest, or popularly known as Kikuyu Kamen Forest. Started by young people all way back in 1996. And actually the idea was there in 1994 when we witnessed a lot of destruction of the forest in this region. And as young people, we say that we have to do something so that we can protect this forest. I would want to focus on why we formed it. There was a lot of destruction of the forest. We also wanted to involve young people in environmental activities. We wanted also to empower the communities to take care of the forest. Also, we were also inspired by the late Professor Wangari Maathai, who is a renowned environmentalist in this country. And since then, we have been doing a lot of research, monitoring and doing a lot of forest patrols. And anything that we found illegal in the forest, we come and report to the Kenya Forest Service or KWS, who then take up some actions. And either they arrest and reprimand the poachers. KENVO is a membership organization. We have a number of people who contribute monthly fee and registration when you enter into that, and then that actually was the main source of funding in the past, where we had membership. But over the time, as we started developing and growing, we also started writing fundraising proposals. Listing proposals, where we have attracted some funding from various donors, including Jeff, small grants. We've also gotten money from USAID through Pact Kenya. We have gotten money from foundations called Amanda's Foundation. And then we have gotten funds from Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund of US. That's a partnership between Conservation International and many other international organizations that are involved in conservation. Now, when that money comes, because KENVO is a membership, we have governing council, we have board of governors. Then at the board of governors, we have secretariat, and secretariat is headed by executive director. And then under the executive director, we have various program managers that are dealing with the different activities. So when we get funds, we assign project officers or managers depending on qualifications and requirement of that project. And I'm in charge of coordinating all the programs, and more important, also fundraising. I do a lot of fundraising for these organizations.
My name is Leah Mwangi. I am a project manager at KENVO. I joined KENVO in 2001, and by then I was working as a teacher in a local school. But I was very interested in environmental conservation. So it is actually my students who introduced me to KENVO. And then I joined in, and from then I started volunteering. Initially I was volunteering as a programs officer in environmental education. But in 2005, I joined KENVO as a full-time staff. One thing I'm proud about is the impact at the forest level, where we virtually stopped all the destruction in the forest. And I'm happy to see that today you cannot find any shackle coming from our local forests. Illegal destruction of the forest has also stopped. You also find that the local community has become very much aware and participatory in terms of reporting illegal cases, participating in conservation activities in the forest, as well as actually in the decision making in terms of management of the forest. And because of this, we have a lot of investment taking place in our local forest in terms of tourism. I'm happy to say that we have our own KENVO members who even started their own tour guiding company. And this has created job opportunities for them, meaning that they're able to earn income and support their families. A number of our KENVO members, out of the activities that KENVO does, were also able or have been able to go back to running institutions to pursue careers focused on environment, tour guiding, hospitality industry, community development. So you can say basically because of what we have been doing through the youth exchange program, in terms of the community work and livelihood initiatives, I'm proud of the various activities we've started. I've seen a lot of our community groups, which we gathered as common interest groups, being able to come together and change their farming systems. Some of them have even gone ahead and they're getting even support from the county government. I'm, for example, proud of a group called the Fadi Dairy and Horticulture Group. We started working with this group back in the around 2005, and we started encouraging them to come together. Initially, we supported them with a water pump, which would rotate within their village, so that as a farmer, you'd take the water pump, fill up your tanks, and then you'd irrigate your crops. That group went ahead, and they started marketing their milk together. They even doing value addition for their milk, making yogurt. And in that way, they're able to earn more income as opposed to the time they were selling their milk to the middlemen. The group was also got support from the county government. They got a greenhouse through which they are producing together, and they have been able to get markets for their product. We also supported a community water project to support micro irrigation activities. One as a way of adaptation to climate change. And I'm happy because when we used to go into the forest and we'd get a lot of people destroying the forest, one of the reasons they were giving us was that they lack income. And majority of these young people would tell you, because the lower part of this sub-county is tea plantation, what happens is that land left for cultivation is very small. And therefore, most of the young people would say they are not able to inherit or get land from their parents because it is occupied with tea bushes. And the parents are earning income from that. So what drove these young people to get into the forest to do shackling and tea logging is because they already have a family, they need to put food on the table, but they don't have income. But once we started working with farmers in terms of how can they also do other activities apart from tea growing, how can they utilize the small pieces of land they have? Most of them are engaged in horticulture production. And in terms of also promoting through grazing, we were able to put up some biogas digesters, again as a way of showing the farmers that beyond taking my livestock to the forest, because one of the main causes of destruction in the forest is also livestock grazing. We overstock the forest. And sometimes they are grazing even in areas where rehabilitation is taking place. So we encourage zero grazing. And once you practice zero grazing, you can be able to also do biogas. That means you now stop going to the forest to get firewood. And therefore you have a win-win situation. At the household level, you have your milk supply, you're earning more income from sales of milk. 2, you have the biogas, so you don't have to rely on forest. And when you have the biogas in the house, it also have health benefits because your kitchen is no longer smoky as it used to be before. You'd find people you get are using wet firewood, and when you're using wet firewood, there's a lot of smoke in the kitchen. And all these affect the women. And then women were spending so much time in the forest collecting firewood. The women who are now using biogas, that has become a thing of the past. They're able to organize themselves and engage in other beneficial economic activities. At the school levels, we have been able to do the environmental education program. We have a lot of schools that have changed the outlook of the schools. We have a lot of trees planted in the school. School kids are also able to influence their families because once they raise tree seedlings in their schools, they are also able to take them home and have them planted in home, and they take care of them. And there is nothing that excites a child as when they see, I planted this tree is mine, so they adopt trees. And to be able to sustain our activities, we have come up with various income generating activities so that we don't rely on donor funds all through. Some of the activities that we do for generating income is beekeeping. In beekeeping, we have local farmers whom we supported with beehives, and then we harvest the honey, package, and sell. So a percentage goes to the farmer and a percentage goes to the KENVO kitty. We have also established the water bottling enterprise where we are packaging water from the forest, One, as a way of demonstrating to the local community that when we conserve our forest, we can still benefit from them without cutting down the trees. This water bottling enterprise, which packaged the forest mist brand of water, has employed about 10 young people who work in the factory on casual basis. And therefore that means we also creating employment opportunities. We also engage in tree nurseries. We have commercial tree nurseries where we raise indigenous seedlings for sale. And these we sell to corporates who also want to engage in forest conservation. So companies like the East Africa breweries, when they want to plant trees, they will come and buy trees from us. And we also plant the trees with them and we take care of the trees. The other income generating activity that we are doing is tourism. We have the Osotua Camp, which is a partnership between KENVO and the Maasai community, located at the escarpment. So these are some of the income generating activities that we are doing in terms of ensuring the sustainability of KENVO. In terms of capacity building, we work with a lot of young people. We do a lot of mentoring within KENVO so that myself as a project manager, I work with other young staffs in KENVO to mentor them so that if I exit tomorrow, we still have somebody who can pick up where I left and continue. So there is no gap that is left. So we work with a lot of young people. We do a lot of mentoring. We also mentor youth from other parts of the country so that they're able to replicate what KENVO is doing back in their areas. And we also plan to also, in terms of sustainability mechanisms, to maybe establish a running center, because we have the resource center where we could be able to train other community groups in terms of community actions towards management of natural resources.
We are also opening up this region for tourism. Okay, we have almost a full-fledged forest tourism. As a result of our work, I have to be frank that we have gotten investors who have seen that the forest is now potential for tourism, forest tourism. And we are partners with African Forest Lodge. They are doing zip line in the forest. Together we are trying to develop what we are calling a adventure park. A park that is a model that does not impact on the environment, but really provide enjoyable activities and also contribute to the community development. In addition, we want to be holistic so that people can visit the whole landscape. So we are also in the process of starting agro-tourism. This is where people come and visit farms near the forest or farm neighboring the forest or the settlement area, and they are able to intermingle with the farmers, they are able to intermingle with the communities around that and go through maybe the daily routine of a farmer, and they learn something. We have a little bit of experience from our 20 years, I would say 15 years of hosting Canada Wild Youth or International. So we have already hosted communities, but we want now to expand that. We have very well trained tour guides, and we have very skilled and experienced project officers that have been dealing with the exchange visit. So it is just building up on what we have learned in the past or experience, and develop it as a fully-fledged sort of tourism. And then we will link this with the forest-based tourism. Maybe visitors will be coming from the forest and then they go to experience some life and community styles around this settlement. So that is our idea. We want to start it here at county and sub-county of Lali, and then expand it to the larger county, and probably it become a learning model to other places.
Na ukanyenda igo ciothe